What's up, everybody? This is Cormier. Today is April 10th. So after weeks of me kind of putting it in on my reviews and other stuff, today is the official launch date of Skullgirls on PSN for the PlayStation 3. The game will set you back $14.99. It features 8 playable characters, a full single-player campaign, online mode, practice tutorials, things that you find in other $60 type fighting games will be in this game for 15 bucks. Some people might harp on the fact that it has 8 playable characters, but it's 8 playable characters for $15. If you want to look at it as a quarter of a game because of the roster. It's still a full game to me for 15 bucks. If they release characters little by little, by the time you hit $60, you might have 20 characters, who knows. There's also a Q&A with one of the co-creators of Skullgirls, Mike Z, who is a fighting game community veteran, on ESRB.com or Shoryuken.com, and basically it goes through the whole beginning, middle part, what he wanted to do with games and how he felt that games were not balanced and how he tried to fix that and how he's doing this, and it goes through a whole Q&A. I'll put the link down below. Support these smaller games, because in the days where only it seems like mega blockbusters kind of succeed, and it makes game developers now want to take risk. If we can support a game for 15 bucks, if it's just a casual game, just support them. I'll have a full review in about a week's time, but please just support them. If anything, download the demo, play it, try it out, see if you don't like it before you don't buy it. Just try, or just play the demo over and over again. Maybe eventually it'll go on sale, and by the time it goes on sale, you'll be so good with the 2 demo characters that you'll be ponying face when you buy the full game. It'll be released tomorrow on XBL, April 11th for 1,200 Microsoft points, $15 American. But yeah, Skullgirls PSN released today. Tomorrow XBL, $15 for both, and Q&A with Mike Z from Shoryuken.com, link down below. Moving on, Gamestop has been sued apparently. No, they settled in a class action lawsuit that was filed against them in California about 2 years ago. Basically, what the lawsuit implicated them in doing was being unfair to the consumers. Nowadays, a bunch of developers are kind of angry at places like GameStop that buy used games and then sell them back to you because they make no money off of it. So what they started doing, developers like Naughty Dog and I believe Rocksteady Games, and I believe this really comes down to the publisher, but either way, they started including online voucher codes that you have to redeem in order to unlock all the features in the game. For Uncharted 3, I believe it was Online Pass. If you didn't have the voucher code redeemed, you couldn't go online and play with your friends. For Batman Arkham City, which is, I hope is the second one, Arkham City, if you did not redeem the code, you would be locked out of some of the side quests, I believe, that were Catwoman based. So if you bought this game at GameStop used and that code was already redeemed, basically you would be paying 55 bucks, because that's what they charge for new used games. It's like $5 under retail. You would bring it home, play the single player, try to go online with Uncharted 3, for example, and realize that you needed this code. Now, if you bought this game from GameStop and you needed this code, you would then have to plop in another 10 bucks to the PSN network to make sure that you can go online. So at the end of the day, you'd be paying 55 bucks for a used product, and you'd be paying 10 bucks for the online pass, which brings your grand total to 65 before taxes, as opposed to just buying a new for 60. They were implicated in pretty much not being upfront with their consumers that games like Uncharted, games like Batman, and other games that use this type of system might not be fully featured because the code may have been redeemed. So what this lawsuit actually does, and what they settled on actually doing, is putting a warning on all their games that use this type of online voucher code, saying that, hey, if you buy this used, please be warned that you might be asked to buy an online pass for this game, for that game, for these features, whatever. But now this has to be warning. This lawsuit only affects the GameStops in California, but the firm that started this class action lawsuit and won the settlement is actually asking other states to join in on this lawsuit and make sure that all GameStops follow this. I believe it's kind of a good thing, because who would want to pay 55 bucks for a game just to plop down another 10 or 15 bucks on a voucher code or something that you may need to unlock the whole thing if it's already been redeemed? At that point, just buy the game new. That's why I say, people, if you really, really like a game and feel like you have to have this game, I know sometimes people get burnt. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. But it's really the only way to make sure that this industry grows. You know, we don't grow through used games. We don't grow through anything else. We grow through support of new games and make sure that the developers that we really like the games from get our money so they can keep making really good games. But yeah, let's see what happens with this further on. If there's an update, I'll let you guys know as far as other states being implicated. But this story is brought to me through gamasutra.com. Link down below, gamasutra.com. And moving on. Patricia Vance, president of the ESRB. And for those who don't know what the ESRB means, basically the ESRB is the Electronic Software Rating Board. It's similar to a rating board that is used for movies as far as, you know, G, PG, PG-13, and rated R. They basically rate every video game that gets published out there for Microsoft, Nintendo, all that stuff. And they have three main ratings. They have an E, they have a teen, they have an M for mature, which would be your G, your PG-13, and your rated R movies. They also have another one, which is AO, and there's a stigma that the AO rating, which is for adults only, is pretty much an X rating comparative in video games. And Patricia Vance wants to kind of not have that be the case anymore. So she's hoping with this emergence of downloadable games that we get now, that, you know, now more publishers, more developers will take chances on AO games, as now there's really no way for parents to blame a retailer. Now it's really up to them, because, you know, most games online will require the fact that you need a credit card to buy these games. But, you know, I give kudos to Patricia Vance for wanting to see more AO games, but at the same time, she said there's a stigma around it, but at the same time, the ESRB created this stigma with games like Manhunt that were rated M and were really controversial for, you know, the gory violence and all the stuff that this game actually had. So by the time Manhunt 2 came out, they made Rockstar actually censor the game, because they actually rated it AO first, and then made them edit the game to give them the M rating. So if there is a stigma around AO games, it's because, well, ESRB, you created the stigma to begin with. Hopefully this can kind of be corrected, but hopefully we won't see the emergence of a bunch of like Leisure Suit Larry type games or Custer's Revenge type games. You know, we'll see really good, deep stuff that we don't see now, and hopefully, you know, the AO rating won't mean porn, won't mean grotesque violence. It'll actually mean something deep that might have sex and violence in it, but for the most part will probably be tasteful, or, you know, if it is raunchy, will be suitable to what the game's mode, you know, story is, as opposed to just being raunchy or grotesque for the sake of being grotesque. We'll see what happens. Story again, gamasutra.com. That's true for Gamasutra. And with that, I'll leave you guys off. Just to recap, Skullgirls, April 10th, PSN, $14.99. If anything, please just get the demo. Tomorrow, XBL, same thing. It's 1,200 Microsoft points, 15 bucks. But if anything, please just get the demo. GameStop settles to warn consumers that some of their used games might require an additional purchase. Now warning is California, maybe other states will join. We'll see what happens with that. And Patricia Vance wants AO rated games to be more commonplace. Links down below. And I will have a link to the Q&A from Shuriken.com with Mike Z, one of the co-creators of Skullgirls, down below as well. Please support this game, guys. I'll have a full review in about a week's time after I put some serious time. Hopefully it lives up. But for 15 bucks with the help that it had, you know, I don't see how it could fail. But we'll see, right? So that's it for today. I'll see you guys soon, and take care. This has been Cornbeaner. See you guys next time. Bye.